Welcome to an introduction to and demonstration of Team's Intelligent Content Solution. When working with a content management system, the use cases really boil down to two streams: putting content in and getting content out. When putting content into the system, the process requires providing context for that item so that others can easily find it again. This context is called metadata and is the cornerstone of quality content management. Now, metadata has traditionally been organized along hierarchical lines. This tiered system of values is referred to as a taxonomy. The user perhaps classifies the document using metadata attributes like type, a subtype, a business classification, and several other tiered or standalone values. Often, the content is also placed into a hierarchical folder structure. This is done in an attempt to inherit metadata and simplify users' browsing for items. This model is considered two-dimensional in that there is height and there is width, but there is no depth. The modern advancement of the metadata model brings us to a new concept, the ontology. Ontology is the branch of metaphysics dealing with the nature of being. And it's those last three words that are important to us when it comes to content management. Rather than a taxonomy, merely describing a single branch of hierarchical values, an ontology represents a multidimensional approach to describing the nature of being of your content. The information science here is fascinating, but it can get quite complex, and the last thing we want to do is increase the difficulty for putting content into the system. The catch is that thus far the onus for metadata quality has been on the contributor, and depending on that user's habits and knowledge, this could either lead to misclassification or a complete dearth of metadata, making the content next to impossible to find, or in the worst scenario, users simply file the content locally because it's easy. More subtle, but equally as worrisome, is that in some cases, right between those two, it's possible for two conscientious people to contribute the same content, but with different metadata, thanks to different interpretations. So the question becomes, how do we implement a modern, flexible, intelligent ontology to power both your users' search and find actions, without burdening contributors or subjecting your content to the vagaries of human interpretation? Team has worked to answer this question by partnering with SmartLogic and integrating their industry-leading content intelligence solution Semaphore with Oracle's world-class enterprise content management platform, WebCenter Content. Let's see it in action. Here we see our WebCenter Content demonstration interface. First, let's take a look at one of the best ways to help people understand the concept of the ontology visually. This is the ontology browser. Now, the idea of a multidimensional ontology is that content can be classified and found in two or more completely different taxonomies at the same time. A piece of content relating to a company car, for example, if provided with a full and complete context, should be findable in both asset, fleet, vehicle, and then car. But also from a less literal standpoint within function, doc support business, corporate asset management, fleet management, and car. Both are interpretations of the data, which can be made depending on the point of view of the contributor, and an ontology provides for both sets of context to be utilized. What about from the contribution side, though? All this context would surely add to the overhead of the contributor were it not for the intelligence brought to bear by Semaphore. Let's contribute this PDF here on the desktop. Looking inside, we see it's absolutely loaded with detailed content on a variety of topics, including project information, strategic directives, implementation plans, basically all manner of information. Not only that, there will likely be a wide range of people looking for this document, each with a potentially unique context in mind, from species data to environmental impact to research topics. Quite the challenge for any human contributor. When we put classification in the hands of Semaphore instead, its content intelligence engine works with the ontology rules to form a pattern of likely context. Here we see all the tags Semaphore has decided on for this PDF based on the text within. That means this document can now be found based on any and all of these classifications at once. Given how many there can be, it's a good thing intelligent content also provides contextual look-ahead searching to simplify the process. We'll also browse our way in to find the contributed PDF using two different taxonomic pathways. With this system, we've removed the responsibility for context almost entirely from the contributor, saving them time and frustration. With automated classification and tagging from Semaphore, we not only get much richer data, which contextualizes the item in multiple dimensions of the ontology, but we remove the uncertainty of human interpretation. This means your content is reliably contextualized precisely the same way every time. Not only are we increasing the depth with which your users can search, we're increasing the value and standardizing the nature of what they find. If you're ready to advance your metadata, increase the value of both search and find for your users, and relieve your contributors of the responsibility for great context, give us a call or drop us an email today. We'd be happy to provide you with more information and a personalized demonstration. Thank you.